Hi, how you going, beautiful souls? I'm just trying to get some sort of chat thing up here and on my phone and just see sort of how I can navigate this. So just give me a second. I hopped on a little bit earlier just so that I could stuff around with this a little bit because I didn't want to do that while, you know, I was in the midst of unboxings and all that jazz. So I can't quite find it, which is really, really frustrating. And I actually thought that somebody left me a good suggestion on how to do it yesterday when I did the just my practice run, and they left me a really great oh my gosh, that's not the right one. How do I go about? Hello. Hi, I'm just doing a live Google Hangout. Can I call you back? That's all right. I answered because it wasn't on you know. My friend. My friend is. I might just turn this off a little bit. Hang on, I've got a witch in need. I've got a witch in need. I'm sorry, guys. I've got a big coven do happening tomorrow night, and I've just got a witch in need. A large piece of lace. There you go. All right, so how do I do this chat, Bizzo guys? Just please excuse me while I stuff around with this because I had assumed that I knew what I was going to do this time around, and saying something about resuming. I'm not quite sure what that means. Streams video manager. Something about being offline. Stream now. Live control room. Live chat, open a new window. I might be getting somewhere. I may be getting somewhere, guys. So, oh, holy dillies, I got somewhere. Maybe I didn't. Oh, here. So we do have a little issue in the sense that I can't type anything out without losing the window. So, all right. So I've got a chat, a live chat stream next. Anyone who writes, hi, Soren, how you going? Thanks for joining. So I'll be able to just talk rather than type, and that way I won't lose where I am as far as the video goes. But I think I'm pretty sorted at the moment. So welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm a little bit early. I had scheduled for 10 past 11, so I'm just going to have a little quick ramble before I get into the goodies. If you guys want to grab a drink, a cup of tea, I have a cup of tea. Hi, the alternate tarot. I mean, the alternate oracle. It's my favorite mugs. I have a set of them, and they match my plates and my bowls as well. And my husband tried to get rid of them the other day, for no other reason than he thought that they were a bit too colourful and influenced him to eat more because he read an article, and I said to him that that was utter ludicrousy, and if he got rid of them then I would hunt down the same exact set of plates and you know. Hi, Nina Light. So I've got tea, Yorkshire, which is my favourite, and I've got water, and I've got this beautiful baby to unbox today. Could somebody please tell me if you are seeing that in reverse? Pretty please. Just a yes we are or a no we are not, because it's looking reversed here to me, but I understand that sometimes that's just the way that it looks to me and it doesn't necessarily record in that way. So if you can see it the right way around and not back to front, then let me know. Much appreciated. Hi, Felicia. No, we are not seeing it the right way around. Not seeing it the right way around. Bummer, if that's the case. Hello, Divine Readings with Gypsy. How are you? All right. Well, no, it looks okay. All right, sweet. Not reversed. Okay, so it's just reversed to me, and that way I don't have to sort of like, you know, adjust my speech to hi, Lady Unicorn, you know, accommodate. So this is a beautiful oracle deck. This is the Druid Plant Oracle. It is by Philip and Stephanie Cargom, and I hunted this down quite, and the illustrations is of course by Will Worthington. Now I have a few of Will Worthington's oracle decks, and his tarot, of course, the Wildwood being one of them, and the Druidcraft and the other. Two of my favorites, by the way, and I study with the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids, and Philip and Stephanie are chieftains, I guess you could say. They are the head of the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druid in Great Britain, and so I have just a tremendous amount of respect for them, and I really, really wanted to own this particular oracle. I have the Druid Animal Oracle as well, which I haven't unboxed. It's up there. And if I'm feeling kind of crazy today, I may actually do both. So we'll just see how we go, okay? I don't know if, okay, so it should auto scroll, right? All right. Hi, Lippy Witch. All right, so let's see what comes of this. Now, I have limited space here on my table. Excuse me. If I push this computer back any further, it's going to hit my crystal grid, just so you know. But before I begin, because I have been waiting for this moment a really long time, and you guys should know, sometimes when I'm not unbox them both, it probably will happen. When I unbox things at, you know, in the privacy of my own space, then I'm quite ritualistic about it. And so I wanted to go midway, and I probably should do this when I'm unboxing my, you know, most of my, you know, decks. But I'm just going to light a little bit of Palo Santo. I'm crazy about Palo Santo. Palo Santo comes from my neck of the woods, from South America. So I love it, and I'm familiar with the smell. It is something that was burnt in my household when I was a child, and so there's this sort of like special, you know, connection with it, because it is something that was present in my sphere of consciousness when I was quite young. And it took me ages to be able to find it when I moved to Australia, and it's only really been in the last maybe 7 to 8 years that I've been able to readily find it. Let me just put both my feet on the ground. I'll smudge you guys as well. There you go. I'll use my beautiful smudge fan. A little love for you and for my computer. I'll just work on my throat because I have to talk. This is great for aligning your chakras, you know. I've already done a chakra alignment meditation this morning through my daily devotionals. But I thought I'll just give my throat a little bit of an extra work, and I will light that up again for the purpose of this unboxing. Now, let's get to it. So sorry to deviate a little bit. So to recap, we are doing the Druid Plant Oracle by Philip and Stephanie Cargom, illustration by Will Worthington. Now, I'll read the back of this because I want this to be a full experience. This is not something that I usually do through my regular unboxings. And so it says, oh, and I should mention ahead of time, I'm dyslexic. So if I start to stutter through things, That's just what it is, you know. I've come to terms with it. Bring ancient druid plant and herb lore into your life. The Druids revered certain plants, including trees, herbs, fungi, and attached special meanings to them. Special. See, I'm telling you. This stunning deck has 36 cards, presents many of the most significant plants, and describes their association with folklore and mythology. Will Worthington's rich imagery depicts each plant in its natural habitat in exquisite detail. Philip and Stephanie Cargom's texts describe the virtues and qualities of each species and shows how the cards can be used in an oracle form from which you can gain wisdom and guidance for inspiration. Okay. Anyways, so this cost me $43, but it actually is priced $43. I only paid, I think it was $25 for it. I got it on special, and it was at the time of end of last year, so that Christmas period, and I was doing my passport in Sydney, and I also met up with a fellow YouTuber during that time, and I went into Dimmicks because I was just looking in the bookstore at Dimmicks, and it's just one of the major bookstores in the centre of Sydney, and I found it, and it was for a steal. And then when I bought it, it was like, I think I posted a picture of it, and people were like, it's out of print. And I went, of course it is. I have the best of luck finding things that are OOP. I'm expecting company soon, so the length of time that I can dedicate to this live hangout is, is limited to a degree. So I'm going to try and move through it quickly, not to rush, but really not to waste anyone's time. This is not a sturdy box. It's a, see what I mean? It's not super sturdy. The book is very beautiful. My son I'm not sure what my son is doing. I put my youngest daughter, to sleep before I began this, but I swear I can hear her voice. I'm hoping she hasn't woken up, because if she has, I'm going to have to go, because I cannot leave my children unsupervised, even though I can see them in the living room through the glass window and they can see me. It's not safe, is it? Fun fact, I actually scorched the edges of my Druid craft once upon a time many years ago, because I used a piece of polar sun too close. Excuse me just a second. It's just my son. He's playing a video game, like a kid, like to assist him with his fine motor skills, and he's talking to himself, and I just assumed that something had gone awry there. I can't even get the boxes that I'm trying to throw this stuff in, so I'm just going to, I get nervous when unboxing a deck, because especially one that I have been waiting to unbox for quite some time, one that has already a special place in my heart, one that I know will be a key piece in my collection, and one that I know that I'll be using as far as my spirituality and my witch's path goes. And so this is definitely one of them, and I wanted to make sure it had good card stock. It doesn't have the best, but it doesn't have the worst either. All right, that was just for me, guys. Now I can get into it. Been hit with a little bit of Palo Santo. All right, so let's look at the book first. I'm not gonna do this thing where I just linger so long with the book, but let's do the book first, because you know it's like you get a present, you read the card. You get a deck, you just give the book a little bit of a look-see, right? And I happen to love the way that Philip Cargom and Stephanie Cargom write, and I've had the privilege of reading so many of their guesses through my through my studies. I think freaking like 50 or 60 of them at least. Anyway, so this is working with the magical flora of the Druid tradition, which is really beautiful. So let's peel it back. Ooh, it creaks because it's the first one. And copyright, this edition copyright 2007. Edition published Great Britain 2007. Introduction. Ethne sighed as she looked at the fat bundles of mint, pine needles, elderberries, rose hips, and balm hanging from pegs on the wall. There was mugwort for the cramps, and lustra and willow bark for the fever. There was the plant called terrestrial sun for the nerves, yarrow for the stomach, foxglove and hawthorn for the heart, and rue and hag's tapers for the cough. Long braids of garlic, useful for everything, swung from overhead along with the most important herbs, comfrey, vervain, figwort, and oak bark for poulticing wounds, the last hanging in a strip from the mantle. And that was an excerpt from Priestess of the Forest, A Druid Journey, Ellen Everett Hopman. It starts off with Bridget's blessings and the physician's words here. Oh, I already know I want to read this like a book. Caradwin's Brew. Caradwin's Brew. I just have to read this because I do work with the goddess Caradwin very closely. What does that mean? I mean, excuse me, what does that mean very closely? I work with the goddess Caradwin. Let's not be an ass about it. Okay, so we have here Caradwin's Brew. An important... Ooh, Paula, thank you. I'm sorry. Paula Santo, yes. I'll just read now. Where'd you get it? Can't find it. I get it sent from family overseas to Paula. I get my Paula Santo sent overseas. It's ethically harvested and they send me small bundles and I can't get it all the time. And I'm running quite low on it. So unboxing both. Palo Santo, thank you, no problems. I've been wanting. Okay, so I've caught up. All right, an important aspect of traditional healing in Celtic cultures was the making of charms and the singing of poems over healing herbs and the person who was injured or ill. Such charms and songs are recorded in medieval Irish manuscripts and in living Scottish folk practices, carrying on a tradition from the Middle Ages into the early 20th century. This aspect of Celtic tradition seems not unlike that of Dain or Lakota healing, where song and prayer play as an important role as herbs and surgery in dealing with disease. And that is Ogma, Weaving Word Wisdom, Irene Laurie. So we have, okay, the Oracle. This is the layout. So the structure is you have the herb, you have the traditional word, so the Druidic word, you have the scientific definition, like Agramonia eupatoria. Thank you for agrimony. And you have its description, you have upright meaning, you have reversed meaning, and you have the herb of princely authority. And I believe that this would be a bit of folklore. So let's just have a quick look. Such as the name of Roman writer Pliny gave to this herb, which is also known as church steeples, cocklebur and sticklewort. The herb is a powerful astringent tonic and blood cleanser, and for centuries was used to treat debilitating conditions in which the patient seemed drained of energy. In France, agrimony is still used as a major ingredient in a spring tonic or tisane, and in Germany it was highly revered for its protective properties, and is also mentioned as an ingredient of the sacred 9-herb bundle used as a pancreas for all kinds of physical and spiritual and psychological afflictions. Okay, and then we have, in addition to tonic, powerful sleeper, according to the English rhyme. Okay, so according to this English rhyme, there's a little rhyme, there's a little bit more on the herb and on how to make an infusion. So this is actually quite good. This is quite good if you're interested in herbal healing specifically. Love from Alaska. Yay! I love this deck so much. Jessica B. Hi, Amatrine Moon. How you going? All right. So we have quite a bit to look at here. 36 cards. I'll show all 36 cards. So we have a double Arwen at the back. So this is the Druidic symbol for Arwen, the elixir of inspiration, divine inspiration, as was brewed in the cauldron of Ceridwen in an attempt to make her very ugly son at least very smart and a well-respected druid. Sadly, the story went a different way, and then we have the crossover of the Taliesin and the Merlin then. And then the story goes a bit curly-whirly, so it's up to you to determine. Mateo Gomez, hello. All right, so we have double Arwens. This is copyright Will Worthington, 2007. So let's begin. I'm just going to make a bit of space. Some Spatsaw. So these are really big, beautiful cards. So comparatively speaking, this is a Blue Angel deck. So bigger than a Blue Angel. See? That's the Gaia Oracle there. Some people say that the Gaia Oracle is actually smaller, so I'll get the Wild Wisdom of the Fairy, which I think is only minutely bigger, and show you that there's relatively no difference there. So it is bigger than a Blue Angel deck, and it has a very pretty border. Now, if you wanted to trim this, you could trim around the white there, but I quite like the leafy border, and I think that it's the inclusion of all the herbs there. And then you've got beautiful Celtic knotwork, and then this beautiful stonework down the bottom there, which is really quite lovely. So I'll hold that up nice and close. And Will Worthington does good work. And so we have, at first here, we have Bethany. Borage. And there's a sword there, so borage maybe for strength. A valor. Oh, bramble. Now either that is a rune or that is an Uma. I learnt the other day, thanks to a video that I made on the voice of trees, a Celtic divination, a Celtic plant divination or tree divination, that Ogham is not Ogham, it's Oma, or something to that effect. This is burdock. We see a lot here. This next one here is the Celtic bean, and so we have hogs here. berries here. Interesting. I kind of want to cross compare with the book. Chamomile. Such beautiful illustrations. Clover. We have the Salmon of Wisdom, I would say. Although traditionally speaking, there was something about elderberries or oak. I really need to brush up on my salmon mythology. This is comfrey. We have bones down the bottom there. Cuckoo plant. Interesting little name. Looks a bit like a peace lily. So be interested to see if it's of the same family. We have fern. Fern means a lot to me here because we have a lot of fern in far north Queensland. Fern is one of the most ancient species of plant, and we have so much of it up here. We have tree ferns, we have maidenhair ferns, we have so many different varieties of ferns, and they grow naturally. You don't have to plant ferns up here. They just pop out of the ground because they're already, the spirit of that plant is in the soil up here. Fir club moss. Hang on, I've got to move my window over just a smishy because I am missing out on all of this. Oh, wow. There we go. Hang on. I'll see if I can actually make it smaller. Sorry, guys. I was missing half of what you were saying because my window was too big. I had no idea. I thought I had positioned it correctly, but apparently I had not. So my apologies. Gaelic is such an interesting language. The words look nothing like they sound. Thank you. Thank you, Soren. That's exactly right. And if you've never heard a Gaelic word spoken before, then you have no idea how to pronounce it. And you can't avoid saying it. You just have to kind of fumble your way through it until somebody is kind enough to tell you. The word Mabinogian, I've heard it pronounced Mabinogi, Mabinogia, Mabinogian, Mabingian. I've heard it pronounced so many different types of ways. And still, the one that I use is the Mabinogian because I typed it into Google Translates and I'm like, how do you say this? And it's clearly said Mabinogian. And I'm like, okay, I'll just go with that. So here we have flax. Beautiful. Garlic. Heather. Ivy. This is really beautiful. Ivy is really beautiful. You've got this lunar aspect thing going on. Hi, Kirsten. Juniper. Lady's mantle. Madder. Agrimony. Mandrake. I love that mandrake was popularized thanks to Harry Potter. It's such a great herb. I use it in a lot of my incenses, specifically or particularly, one of the two. One of those two words, insert which one you want best. For coven brews that I'm making. And by brew, I mean incense mixes. It's like smudges. The Guardians. Oh, this is so pretty. That actually touched my heart. I felt a real shift in my body then. Felt like such peace. Oh, thanks, Mateo. Oh, I'll have to have a look at the app then. Just trying to keep up. What am I looking at here? The Banes. Here we have yarrow. Woad. Wheat and the Bridget's cross there. I tried to make a Bridget's cross last Imbolc, but I couldn't find the right material. And I searched high and low for different types of materials, and there's a specific reed here in the area that I would need to use, but I haven't been able to locate it yet. Here we have vervain. This is beautiful. Ah, growing your own is a great idea. What have we got here? Puffball. With my least favorite animal in the whole wide world, the toad. I'll take a shark over a toad, dude. Primrose. Beautiful. Poppy. Bit of opium, anyone? Plantain. It's a dustiness to the cards, like, you know, they've got a bit of residue from the print, but not like, it's not permanent. It's just creates that sensation under your hands. A bit of oil from your hands and consistent use. It's going to take that right off. It's going to be shiny soon. This is nettle. Mugwort. Oh, who doesn't love mugwort? I mean, really. Who doesn't love mugwort? Just the best herb. You can drink it. You can use it as a poultice. You can put it in a dream pillow. You can smoke it. You can just do anything with mugwort. Probably build a house, fly to the moon with it as well. Just to be extremely exaggerated. We have mistletoe here, and we have the sickle. I would love a sickle. If I ever come across one that I like, I will definitely acquire it. Mint, which I grow here. My husband uses it daily in his salads. Meadow sweet. Interesting, there are 3 blank cards. Is that meant to be like that? 3 blank cards. 3 blank cards. and then the Restorers. And this is an iconic image, isn't it? All right, I've got to see about these 3 blank cards. Three blank cards. It's not missing. It's not missing any of the cards, but it actually has no reference, no pictorial reference at least, which is what I'm looking at just to make things quicker. How to use your cards, magical tools for future use. Yes, yes. Ah, the blank cards. Before you prepare to do a reading, decide what to do with the 3 blank cards in the deck. These can either be discarded or used in one of 2 ways. You may choose to leave them in the deck as they are, in which case, when you receive one in a reading, it will indicate that it's up to you to find your way. The Oracle doesn't offer any insights at this moment. Or you can use them to create new cards of other plants that are meaningful to you. It's a bit shiny to paint on. I guess you'd have to carefully matte medium them, just for future reference if anyone's attempting to. You could actually matte medium them. You could put some masking tape around the edges and create a nice surface, and then you could paint something on and then you could finish it off if you were feeling particularly artistic. Now, call me crazy, but I don't want my art in the midst of Will Worthington's art, because his art is beautiful, like beautiful. And it's not that my art is crap, it's just that this is gorgeous. This is the type of art that is just absolutely stunning, and you can't look away from it. It's that beautiful. And then you throw mine in there, and my art is cute. I know exactly what my art is, and I don't feel bad about it. I'm very proud of my art, but I still don't want it wedged in here with Will Worthington. If I could come close to creating something of that capacity, then I perhaps would think about it. But maybe I could mail it back to Will and say, Will, could you draw me an aloe vera? Oh, gosh. All right. Well, that was the Druid Plant Oracle. And since we've still got a little bit more time and I've got some more tea, I might just, what's the word that I'm looking for? Go and find my animal oracle. Okay, just a sec. All right, guys, I'm almost ready. Just faffing around, lighting my candle again. All right, so here we have it. The Druid Animal Oracle. And this, too, is illustration by Will Worthington, Philip and Stephanie Cargom. 33 sacred animals. Divination cloth for card spreads. Oh, 176. Page illustrated book, interpretations and traditional lore of the sacred animals. The plastic is coming off. Yes, darling. My son, excuse me. Got it then? Fantastic. All right. Excuse me, he needs something. Just a moment. There is the most delicious smell of polar sandals. So this is a sleeve. This is a sleeve type of setup. Slips in and off. I'm not a fan of this type of setup, mostly because of the fact that it's harder to get things in and out, I think anyway. Oh, hold the phone, folks. Here's a hardcover book. That makes me happy. That makes me legit happy. Can we just have a hallelujah for that one? Ooh. And yet I am met with more Gaelic names. Funny story, when I signed up for the Order of the Buds, Ovates and Druids, I was sent out this massive, like, beginner's package kind of thing. And in it was this CD of Gaelic pronunciations. And my girlfriend and I, we were both studying it, my cousin sister and I, we were studying it at the same time. She came over one evening and I put it on and we just lay there with incense going, listening to this Gaelic translation CD and trying our absolute best. It had Welsh, it had Gaelic, Irish and Scottish, I want to say, varieties. And it was so hard. It was so hard. And I still am crap at it. So maybe I should listen to the CD a couple more times. All right, so here we go. It's a beautiful book. It's like this inky blue, absolutely stunning. $19.96. This is an older one. I graduated high school in 1996. Animal teachers, rooted in time, shamanism and animal powers. Some stuff here on Michael Harner and Joseph Campbell, who we know are quite prolific writers on shamanism. Celtic Otherworld, Inner Animal Power, Readdressing the Balance, like there's a lot in here. And then chapter 1, Oracles. Peer often deep within the pool of Thek. From the Song of the Salmon God by W.P. Ryan. Goose and salmon on a Pictish stone from Morayshire, possibly 6th century. Bright knowledge. Interesting. I was expecting to see something in here about, there's Boudica, but I was expecting something regarding Bridget. They call her Bright Arrow or Fiery Arrow. They do have Boudica here. The Druid Queen, Boudica. See, she's presented in so many different ways. That's the most frustrating thing, I guess, and also the most exciting thing about mythology is that you get several different versions of the story. And one version will say one thing and another version will say something that is vastly different. They're not even comparable. So it can be really, really quite frustrating if you're interested. Hang on. That's this city in Wales. What? Soren, that is the longest word I've ever seen in my life. 20,000 syllables, yes. Hi, Sherry Bug. Bug? No, it's Bug, yeah. Just reading. Murray. We'd say Murrayshire. That's me just bastardizing it with my Australian Ocker slang. Okay, we have the horned figure, possibly Serenus, from the Gundestrup Cauldron, Denmark, 1st century BC. From Denmark, eh? Okay. So we're into it. We're into it already. And we open with the blackbird. Enchantment, the gateway, the inner call. This card shows a blackbird sitting on a rowan tree. It is twilight and the first stars are just appearing in the sky. In the background, we see the entrance to an enchanted cave. Druid, I can't even try to pronounce this, but I'm going to. Dubar, whatever, is the bird of both the gateway and the forge. So Druid Blackbird, we'll call him, calls to us from the gateway between two worlds, urging us to follow a spiritual path or to become more self-aware. He calls us in the twilight, showing us the path to otherworldly secrets, pointing out the ways in which we can discover more about our hidden motivations and potential. There are times in life when it is important to concentrate on the outer world and your responsibilities in that world, but there is also a time when you must attend to the haunting song of your soul, which calls you to a study of spiritual truth and to an exploration of the inner world through dreams and myth. In heeding Druid Blackbird's song, you will discover healing and new depths in your soul. And then there is the tradition of the blackbird. May Day season fair, perfect time of the year. The blackbird's song, a poem. The sun's first slender ray, Irish 9th century. Okay, there is a lot. Okay, so let me just be clear. This is where it begins. So you get your introduction page, then you get a little bit of what I read, then you get all of that, and then your next one. And the information is meaty. Kind, subtlety, gracefulness, and femininity. Lovely. All right, so we have had a look. This is lovely. I'm just going to see towards the back. There are spreads in that, how to use your card sections towards the back, similar to that of the Plant Oracle. And then some spreads. But it's a beautiful book, really sturdy. So the cards are laid out like this, side by side business. The stock is very similar to the Druid Oracle, so I'll just take it in turns. Oh, this is a beautiful little cloth. How lovely. Okay. We start off with the blackbird. The hind. Stag. Bear. With the fox. The boar. Hawk, which is the image on the cover. Dog. Beautiful dog. We have owl. Looks more like a tiger than a cat, wouldn't you say? But okay. This one. Crane. Raven. For all you Morrigan lovers out there, or even Odin lovers. Swan. We have the wolf. Adder. The eagle. And the sow. So that's half of the deck. And I'll just put that there. Let's face it. This is the second half. And it begins with the bull. The goose. Ram. Salmon. This is my power animal. I did a shamanic journey some 2 years ago, just before I discovered that I was having serenity, and yeah, I came up with this one. It was the most interesting journey. I did it with a shamaness named Misha who is in our area, and the whole journey she took us to the underworld, to the shamanic underworld, and she beat her frame drum, and it was just utter silence, and the lights were dark. I had a blanket over me, and there was incense, and then just the sound, that perpetual sound of that drum for 15 minutes, if not more. We have bee, otter, cow, horse, wren, stop, water dragon, earth dragon, air dragon, fire dragon. Yay! It's got dragons in it. Seal. And we have 3 blank cards. So the 3 blank card business seems to be a thing. And then we have this beautiful little cloth. With dragons and snakes. Very pretty, hey? It's quite nice. Would have been nicer if the edges were finished. Bit of a stickler for that kind of business. Edges are not finished. You know what I mean? I'm just surprised and pleased that they put a cloth in there to begin with. So there we have it. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a smudgy smudge with some polar santal because I didn't do it beforehand. And I've got to say, love the fire dragon. I know, right? Yeah, it does. Well, this pack does. I've seen smaller packs. It always pays to get the bigger packs because I know that the Druid Craft Oracle comes in a smaller pack and a larger pack, and it is so worth getting the larger pack because that book is just so good. And we're done. We're done, skis, guys. So that was 2 unboxings, 1 scheduled, 1 surprise. I'm all about surprises, yes? So I'm just going to split these up and try and put them back in the box in a nice way, which I feel I will fail at somehow because that's just the way that it is, yeah? Failed at it. Okay, please fit, please fit. All right, so there we have it. That was the Druid Animal Oracle. I'm really intrigued by this one actually because I kind of held off from unboxing it for quite some time, and most people know me as not really very kindred to animals, and I'm not the type of person that goes, oh my god, a puppy, let me pat you. Like, I'm just not that person, and it's because I have very strong opinions about animal and animal ownership. I just, you know, this is my own personal ethos, I guess you could say, but I do not believe in pets. I don't believe that, just like I don't believe in human slavery, I don't believe that one should be able to take property or ownership over an animal, which is another living creature, right? And so I have a big problem with that. And so when I go to visit friends and they've got pets and they keep their wings clipped and, you know, neutered and all that sort of stuff, I just think it's abhorrent. And I'm like, I quietly die on the inside, but I'm not obnoxious about it, and I don't say terrible things to people, and I'm not like raging with a picket in my hands and doing all that kind of crazy nonsense. So I kind of really like the concept of this and the choice of animal and the way that they've depicted the animal and the medicine of the animal, because I think it brings into reality, into a person's sphere of consciousness, the true essence and the spiritual link that one can actually have with an animal. And you don't have to domesticate an animal to have that spiritual link. Here in Cairns, you can go night spotting, right? And so you can take a camera and your flashlight and you can go and seek out animals at nighttime just to connect with them and to see how they, you know, they are in their own natural habitats. And it's really beautiful when you can do that. It's really beautiful when you can see a creature in its natural habitat and not feel like you need to wrap a noose around its head or you know, give it a name or any of those sorts of, you know, crazy business. But, you know, that's my own personal opinions. I'm with you, Soren. I'm with you. A spread with which one? Oh, I'll do the animal oracle since it's the closest. I'll just draw a couple of cards. I'll just take these three blank cards out. Let's give them a mad shuffle. Nice, Alicia. Alrighty. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. I know that you're from all over the world, so it's really sweet to have been able to connect with you. I never know when I'm going to do this. I never know the right time. I don't know which times are best or which times are more suitable. But I just go for it whenever I can, and we'll see who comes up. Could be day, could be night, who knows? Now that I know how to live chat, I might be doing it a little bit more often. I think I like the idea of doing unboxings live. I should say this too, these are quite large cards. I have tiny hands. I have really tiny hands. I have very small hands. I have small hands and small feet. My whole entire family has small hands and small feet, with the exception of my dad. But the women in my line, all except one, have really small feet. And I can use the same shoes as my younger sister and my older sister, but my middle sister, no, she has ginormous feet. But small hands. And I can still shuffle this deck. A lot of people are like, oh no, it's too big, I can't shuffle it. I'm like, yeah, you can. I've got tiny hands and I can shuffle this deck. Ooh. Maybe I didn't shuffle it good enough. No, I shuffled it great. I shuffled it great. You guys are gonna love this. You guys are gonna love this. But I have to go for the book. I'm sorry, I have to go for the book because I have no familiarity with this. I'll intuit it first. Let's not be so lazy. Do you want to see the first one? It's the Earth Dragon. And he looks like, he or she, I want to say she, because she's got she eyes, feminine eyes. She looks like she's hoarding golds and treasures here. So there's an element of acquisition of resources, I feel, to this particular one, and the hoarding of resources, and how that can be both be a positive and a negative. Hoarding means the acquisition of something, right, in larger amounts. So, like, you know, some people would say that I hoard tarot, but I utilize them. I don't just hoard them and build walls out of them to create a city inside my house. So they're tools that I use. Anyways, but the hoarding of resources can be quite, you know, double-edged as a sword, I think, because if you hoard resources, then you create yourself a nest egg for the future, and you set yourself up nicely and those in your family up nicely for the future. If you don't, if you're frivolous and you don't, then you will experience lack towards the end of your lifetime, unless, of course, you're very, very lucky and just happen to walk the path of luck. But that's our modern era, right? You know, you really do have to tighten the belt. And then we have Air Dragon here. And this is really like stormy. It's got this real storm aspect and snowy backdrop. And I don't know if that is lightning, although it could be. And it's quite menacing. This has a more of a masculine look to it. So there's focus on the intellect there, and minding the tempests that rage within. That could be a thing. And then we have the bull, which I'm quite familiar with because I am a Taurus. That's stubbornness. That's determination. The adage, a bull at its gate, like a bull at a gate, is one way of saying that that's 100% focus and get out of the way, or this person is going to mow you down. But let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, they're in, maybe they're, Caspian. Sweetie. Well, you're gonna have to wait till it charges. Then put it on the charger, honey. You can go into my room and watch the TV in there if you like. Why don't you do some art? Is it just me? Why can't I not find? Oh, here we go. Water dragon. Okay, just wait, honey. Just wait. Power, potential, and riches. This is the Earth Dragon. Okay. Brings us face to face with our potential within us. We have a treasure house of riches, of powers and capacities, which we can learn how to use. In the past, we may have been denied access by the guardians of this treasure, but now we are coming to understand that this sometimes fierce guardian is the reality as aspects of ourselves. By coming to know and loving, I can't pronounce the name, Talma, we will be able to unlock the secrets of our heart, and at the same time we will find ourselves discovering the beauty and the power that lies within the hearts of those around us in every aspect of earth. Yay! The potential, power, and riches. So let's look at air. Inspiration, insight, and vitality. Coming into contact with the air dragon can be a bolt of lightning. Oh, it was lightning! Yay! It could be a bolt of lightning to the psyche and the intellect, and as such must be treated with care and considerable respect. Sometimes manifesting as sudden flashes of illumination, Dragathar brings insight and clarity into your thought and imagination as conveyor of numinous power. The air dragon can be seen as a symbol of visitation, for he is the messenger of the sky god. Interesting. And then we have the bull. That's be good if it was alphabetical, but it's not. It's not alphabetical. Thank you. Sorry, guys. I would like to read you the love of my life. Don't put your hand near the candle, please, darling. It's very hot still. Mummy just blew it out, but it's very hot. Why is this not? Bull. Wealth, potency, and beneficence. Mediates. Trabar mediates the influences of Tyrannus, the Jupiter-like god of the Druids, whose beneficence and expansiveness can bring you the opportunity for a rich and abundant life. The bull is the symbol of wealth, and as such is auspicious to draw this card when concerning financial matters. But remember that the ancient ones were wise enough to understand that true wealth is to be found in the heart and the soul first, and only then is in the material world. The bull represents fertility, potency, abundance, and prosperity, but these things can sometimes take a while to achieve. If you need to work steadfastly in trying circumstances for a considerable period of time in order to achieve your goals, the bull will help you to do this without becoming drained or depressed. That's that focus. So in reversed, it can be stubborn. Bull in a china shop adage used in the reverse aspect. Okay, so that was just a little general overview of a reading, and I just wanted to try out the cards. So I think they did really well. I think they have assigned really sensible meanings, because I was kind of like, oh, dragon, what are they going to write? If it's too fanciful, I find it really difficult to connect with, because as imaginative as I am and as imaginative as my mind can be, I still can't really connect so deeply with fantasy. And I suppose those who can probably fare better in those instances. So I'm very happy to see the grounded nature of the messages, particularly with the two dragons, because the bull, I could have guessed, having thought about it. It's very astrological in its associations. The bull, Taurus, money, stubbornness, pleasure, wealth, beauty, all that kind of stuff. So I could have got that from the bull, but the dragons, I was a bit like, So they weren't really grounded with it, I thought. And that's the beautiful thing about the creations of Philip Cargom and Stephanie Cargom and Will Worthington, is that they are grounded. They are really easy to access and very easy to connect with. And that's a beautiful thing. The horse is here as well. Did I see the horse? Okay, so there we have it, guys. That was just a little run through, a little rough run through. It was fun. It was fun. I'm a bit low on energy today. What is it? Oh, yes, it is a crystal. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. And thanks for hanging out with me. I've been here for quite some time, and my little boy now needs me. Come and say hello, Caspy. Hi. Hi. This is the little man that knocks on the door and interrupts and likes to tell stories and all that. What are you going to do? Look at this cute face. My sweetie. All right, I'll be there in a second, okay, sweetheart? It's very hot in here. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Just a quick look. Yes. What time is it in Australia? It is 12:14. It is midday right now. No initial question to Matteo. No between bull in a china ship shop. Ship shop. Oh, that's funny. I'll try and get the picture stone in the guidebook. Oh, yes, Ren. Yes. One of my favourite countries, Scotland. Fabulous. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for hanging out. Nice to see you on 3 a.m. in Amsterdam. So, Letty, you are up very, very late. That is exciting. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll be hanging out again soon, hopefully, and maybe I'll do some live, card readings or something fun, something just super amounts of fun. Something sound like it just broke. So much love, guys. Thanks for hanging out. See ya.